Ema ye ho akwaba. Tie me so ana ye do it. This is the part of the program where we discuss asem kesie. E de rade ase se munya ensori mfie ye mu TV nechi. Ene ye ba be hwe eye Ghana mabunu adwuma yenya ne obroni beka net say youth unemployment. Bronya ana ebe na wotwe a ye ba be simu idie. Won obetoto wo mo ton so ton. Nanso ebi se sika ni omukotoku mesane say for the past 2, 3, 5 years since they completed school, they are unemployed. Until they still eat from their mother's pot and from their father's pocket. This morning we have 2 guests with us who are going to help us to break down these phenomena and possibly provide some solutions. With me are Reverend Mrs. Angela Kamenapia, President of Institute of Directors Ghana. Afi Mebra Bernard Kwam, honestly the country director of Equip Ghana. Mama, me pese me de bia na pese bisa Institute of Directors. Who are they? Who are the Institute of Directors?
The Institute of Directors ye baka professional body. Professional body ni de na ye adwuma bi na hwe adwuma na ye na ze ho aka bata eku bi a wo bo ma wonyim zin de biara esua na konanyim ama bibi wo ho na re ye na nye ni ye a we tetia wo na ado de ade ya hwehwe ne dam wo hyembra so mo ama ezido ama bebiara ati biara dwuma biara ezi wo ho etuma ezini ye na wo ka directors a oya na nkrofo feel de oh se menye director in quota ono muntumi join institute or your leaders into directors yen ho a what board do wo from ho council or governing body into ho a what them board no do ebi mo wo from ho executive director or chede oye adwuma wo adwuma ku no mu nanso asenso te board do na wo ho a wo from ho non executive director ono nye adwuma wo ho into a external person oba na okọ obezini dwuma efi so bi mo so wo management wo adwuma no mu a wo so wo board do obi so wo a onyi board do wo adwuma mu ba ne yanko bi a friend me ebo ye adwuma boboa me o san the company's code ne ka dey na se bebo ye adwuma at least you need 2 directors into me yanko opedo ye no small business na wa friend yanko frefre kobo na yam bezi de medwuma nti wenya woda hye wonsan na esua no ho akaza a wode ka ho ama ochine bi wudin yankopoi for the wrong reasons.
Oh, okay. I see. Nti na eba ne sa dia na directors we mo na moje ye mabunu na adwuma mu. You are directly in charge of employing.
Okay, so ya baka na damza na ya baka de na boards will provide strategic direction. How many people should we employ? Who should we employ? Do we have the funds to employ? Ya boda motoni na ezama management as implementer. Enti inyenye na ye the direct engagement, but you provide direction.
You have a say.
No, of what must be because sebe samrukwa wara motuma kade o sisi a meye bia edwuma a meyen sika a menyen enti meyer ye bowa yen wokor na yen hwe enti me provide a say into moframa ye bowo ama yankwa wo pi na efi wa abadan obi na adehia ono na ye irresponsible
enti na just you offer direction.
No, what must be done for the interest of the business and also looking at the resources available.
Okay.
Ama bibi ankoto sin.
Okay. Right. Bernard, Equip Ghana also more and what do you do specifically?
Yo, etiefo na yemamu machi yada mwasiwa kwenya kese amudi amaye sedia Reverend Kai Iniade. Yeah, Equip Ghana yawo leadership fraternity no. Inyina ya baby who say leadership play a very important role. Ewo ye koni ye be na kasa about unemployment you bit me aka in generality say it's an issue of leadership dysfunctional. And Equip Ghana no is established to your friend is saying give direction, support relationship, and guidance for a friend saying instructive transformational leadership.
Okay.
John Maxwell branch di juma kɛseɛ paa wɔ ɔman yi mu ne nkɔfoɔ abrabɔ mu ne businesses.
Okay. So how are you directly related or involved with the John Maxwell leadership program in Ghana?
Can't equip Ghana in general. No, me find say CCR no, it will incredible be branches, and globally, no, right now, you're pretty as a global organization in about 56 countries. About Africa, you were almost 25 now. Yet to expand to other regions. Okay. Now, equip Ghana itself, no, a direct source. Or should I say, make us a branch, but it is a subsidiary, your friend is an extension of Maxwell leadership and Maxwell values. And I had the on my, who say John Maxwell, Nimpebia, wait to me add that leadership, practical leadership, Eddie. Wait to me who say a lot of organizations and institutions are benefiting. Now the values no timeless and timely. No, we feel say a ingredient beer. I was say every institution and organization no, I was say embrace it to leverage on to build a healthy, congenial atmosphere.
Thank you very much. For TME so na ye way ye ni Mama Angela anafe Bernard. Ye share ye mabu no enye adwuma. Bebre na esu adwuma ni hu obitimi fro no a flash so rev me pe adwuma na o flash me me so me nye director ye ma ye nyina ye ho akwa aba biem eba asem kese mum ye ntie eye article yi na afi ye nhwe de ene ye bedi hu nkomo yi youth and employment programs in Ghana. Options for effective policy making and implementation identifies agribusiness, entrepreneurship, apprenticeship, construction, tourism, and sports as key sectors that can offer increased employment for the Ghanaian youth. It also calls for more investment in career guidance and counseling, work-based learning, coaching, mentoring to equip young people with the skills needed for work. The report suggests that although these are not new areas, the government could maximize their impact by scaling up these priorities in existing youth employment interventions and improve outreach to the youth. And so, Mama Angela, already there is a scope within which the young people can fetch from. But before we go there, who can be employed and who can't be employed?
You are some kase. Oh, yeah, no, bro, for can some kase be was so you do program is so yeah, some kase. What's the day you can lead a horse to a riverside, but you cannot force it to drink. Right. Inti, however well intentioned, obi pedo buo bi poa. Nipa no so odo nya enyije bi, ahokeka bi, ahobrasi bi. Na yensha so wa ha na yenhwe. A journey of 1,000 miles. What it begins with a step. But moya mumudo ya na yedi ya wa kasha bracket bi mde. Do me peti baby bi. Inti senya mi por mehen as ashesi bi ayempe. Moya muhuni. Inti sayarka who can be employed? Anybody of sound mind. Anybody who is willing. Obia nenya brede or juma. What's reality is created in a moment, but there are multiple realities. Iboshe na mabaha as a security man. Boshe no china nyame amawdo. Bible mu stories no wo hopi. Inta ho brase. Yen trust the papa bi na wa aboni wiase. Obo yen be owadza oba mo bia ne sa kaneze. Ocha mo so bia do. Inti wa aka yankasa. Yankasa na wa aka he. Da ye bari atado. Da papa on change obi. Obama mosomeze. All right.
Bernard, you are relatively a young man. The young men and women are crying that after university, they are not getting jobs. Right. Do you think university education is necessarily a prerequisite to employment? Say, me we first degree, second degree, and you say me nyajuma.
Yeah, some no, in as much as all yes, some no, or the reality on the table. I feel say to start with, I was say setting the tone for what we mean by employment to really help us now yet be discussion or length and breadth. Now, me as a young man, move up. You could, I could recount the time I'm really in school and the way the system was in turmoil because the nation itself, was going to IMF for some kind of whatever, and there were some IMF conditionalities. And one of them was freeze on government employment. So it posed a great threat to us. Now, Musma, Reverend Wakan, I think say it is a mindset disposition. Just to, kick this in, yesterday, I had a quick conversation with Uber driver, B. Now, as someone kind, it really rang a loud bell. I feel it must even been sounded more. I think your expectations as the youth of the country must really be put in reality and also in context. You can create a lot of offending, healthy and good living. Actually, the critical challenge in there, there is a first, wrong mindset because before they take it up any venture, you must have what we call like a vision. But miracle school. In fact, to your question, direct response is not everyone that must be within the walls of the school.
I see.
Very important because Isha, and why the school today like should I use the word fashion if not mandatory? Because Bema the system, the reality, the scale disposition. Let's also look at talent now. You need to pass somewhere before you get there. If you or they need to enter into certain sector, then I'll come back to school. If they need to go to school straight. But how do you put all these extremes together? But the whole clarity is this. The university education gives a platform to spur people on for brighter future because you get the certification, you get the exposure, you get the knowledge. But situating itself in the current giving, there is a big struggle where the university education is not enough. It doesn't help and equip school to be readily employable. But I won't blame the university education for it. Because the word is university, universal city, where all the knowledge in the world comes together to converge. It is the utmost responsibility of Nyimpana Nalaruko School to take that opportunity and that kind of leverage to build himself to become employable. The 21st century, I know Reverend Ni quota or Kappa has to do with the 21st century literate and illiteracy. Or that we need to update it and step it up. On young of our own to mun can own to mun tro. Or your people they are willing. That's the first one. But how many of them are willing to learn? Not quite. So those who are willing, no. I am more of fashion. I am more of I want to be. I also graduated. Yes, I have this, and yet we are home. Are we really serious? It's not people who are not able to read, write, and all of that. But they are willing and ready to unlearn certain things. It's not helping us to grow.
Yeah.
people who are ready to learn new things that will help us to grow, and also remind ourselves by relearning.
Okay.
Into I feel it is a situational and cultural defect. All there we need to come home.
All right, Mama Director, does that mean that education is just not enough for unemployment? Can we also say that?
All right. Nti say ya ba Canada ma ye botuma Canada to da ma Bernard Kane wo formal education na ehwe curriculum bia the curriculum or wanzama wa to the yensua. Na there are also those soft things. On your hard or your soft, even language, tone, appreciating your stakeholder, managing them, chemistry. The men zamaning to tia ihia. Exactly, ejuma.
Mama, what color kumi? I think you are mentioning some very important things so that the viewer, and fortunately most of our investees are on break now. Others are breaking by friends. One more sharing. So me wa first degree. Be a humanities course, be my engineering, be my medicine. Be now I need to be employed. Okay. But we are establishing here, say your certificate is just not enough. But you are mentioning certain soft skills. Be and I'm saying you know Marco. Kono blame ohami.
Enti se ishe certificate nansing with AI naden obi botuma score high points obi botuma throw CV uhu CV ni pe epeda fan. It's the nyimpa ne tena wana ye na kasa pe na hu that this person is not fit for the job. First of all, nankasa ne personality most why no ho ne kasai
ne personality say na appearance or day
appearance ne demeanor hu the nyimpa onye fit for the job. What fitness for the job. Into obi abakado person to organization fit. Sabi.
Okay.
Sancha Merkaya prostitution or what taro them mishamado kwa ma pass testing.
Okay.
Me shey mizike jira ho me fe. The same way na mo organization bi ma all them organization na culture e bad na wo hwehwe wo ho so that me ye the madzina I become acceptable. Okay. What is the language? Into onye de maminyim na mezerko na ka no afiole o ma we na ma ya ma fe neke dabi ekọ rukosua ama enyatenabia na tena ho a you will need a mentor. Obi a oziwanyim kan ochechra wo kwan. Na to have a mentor these days, first of all, or your risk. Because obi pede or your mentor po they want to put their best foot forward. Enka for baggage bi mfenzi we chide me mantinyi no we kogume yimase. What chinizin be papers ma mizin ka ho bi. Enti sepede nya ho brase ne nya mentor bi ochechro kwan endwom na pede to a nkofo ato nwimpi ya besen ko nkofo atwa apoma we gyanyama pi moso me pede me ye bi wo ye ne den na resua ifo obi si we nwodo ibi se obi na za ho brase amama no wa yen busu enya ho mfaso embre your journey will be shorter because they teach you all the ropes, but you should be somebody obi pepede obese na degir na botar ode gumu because yamfa nko yebeja wa ha, and we must identify and hand over onunti na IOD na equip ya yanyanko. They want to target the youth. IOD we want to target the youth because we ye dachi enti mpanyimfo na wo see and sometimes I miss they are goners. So baby na nzema bi baby awedun sesan bi ayi ho obetesa. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, but moframa no wo ho ye botum ya guide ho anye yepo yankwa na yanka de ye ho na wensua but yanye kra onye. So soft skills ikita certificates abozini kitao ebe adwuma no mu awodzo watena front desk ibe suban na eyi wo ho. You will be the scatterer. Obi do adwuma ho pemba obi because of usuban na wonze enti na wo ye interview, not because obi nkita certificate. Worry share the body language, trying to elicit some responses in who CV no do na kasa te den na nziye te den obu mpanyimfo otena ho den okasa den oye na adze den because ye wo culture your stakeholders medinuru kompanyimfum na kasa teden into behwe na nyimpa ne baba ehu de bibi wo no ho a mepe oboboa me nanso yenye orientation kakra na yenkyerɛ obiara nya asase do perfect nti de ko baby a yesua the culture your orientation but what there we should imbibe what we learn what the bama na nsua mfaso mba ho nti yerka no kra soft skills ende if a leadership circle nkrofo sua appreciative inquiry
Right.
will sua cultural intelligence will sua emotional intelligence positive intelligence social intelligence obaneden because yehu there na ayede ebebi oya wobu ehwehwe na za asam asomo bi don kaka na asam no ho hia wa emfa ma na montenten ezema obanyansafo nti yehu de mpanyimfo ni bi po wo hɔ a wonyima adze ai de teacher bi onyima adze pa bo ntumi ntrade o trade no pa na ya confused but obi so wo hɔ a ɔtɔ no bo nti person to organization fit no ho hia papa na yehwe na yehwe with the soft skills.
Okay, thank you very much. I will want to ask whether the whole idea of unemployment is a myth. Do we have jobs that are looking for people? Every day we see adverts in the graphic. On say vacancy, but people are still saying there are no work. Is it a myth?
Joe, Mama Minsha say.
Yes.
Our baby obi atena na mo so hwe na adze. Nti obi obakada is a myth. Ono na kumam no yim do a myth because na adwen dem hwehwe amenya bi. Ebokwa akohwem na they may not even be looking at the right places or they themselves are not ready to really look.
Okay, so this is also another very important thing. The right
Places
and looking where you must look.
Exactly. So you must have realistic expectations. How many people have even gone to the newspaper? People are newspaper but there's a column for it. In Tampada Mishwe Juma, he found a many Juma. Baby a newspaper. So it comes back to guidance and counseling. And him find a mohu job search.
Okay.
Now we have iPhones and all kinds of smartphones.
WhatsApp.
Exactly.
TikTok.
And so do obitra the smartphone na kita nansen opanyin bi sakobi. Oya mobile dem gyina. Do you have a phone? Us yes. What phone is it?
Purchase Juma penny esake employ.
Sakobi.
Okay.
Obi. No be send he had a problem.
Okay.
No so boss. Na ncha mepede na mobohu na dam. No, next question. Do you have a phone? No, yes. What type of phone is it? No, you no phone. You have a smartphone. You're a joke. Get out. Until you're going to maybe send, oh, uncle. No, Benedine. No, so you're serious. How can you have a smartphone and still be stuck? No, I'm saying, well, Papa, ebi onyim. Only as I'm not here, no. Okay, the smartphone, but onyim the products that they have and the advantage that you can get with this product. So we even need to teach them. I the most year how to clean themselves. Onyim although be trend why and informed by science, informed by the society, informed by new trends, and so it is like that. You are looking for a job, but it's if you obisu what to chap with them. Wa bompaya kai paya. How many of those hours soon as go out in faith to knock on which door? And what are you even presenting? Obi bobo na bupo to you when woman campo ababa. Won't be sent to be ababa. No, do I want this person in my environment? Into your bush na. Program. We are very ready to help the youth. Very ready. Because in your been adumbe domihe. Career guidance and counseling and first where you schools. Numbers no crowd doors dodo. Into say people wa on dimu. Into ya ready. We are ready to help.
Absolutely.
Ashefo agrono ye de pao. Asem kese so na ye we. Me di to dwa se obi obepese ye maame Angela ene Bernard ebeba asori ana organization bi no ma ba be provide ye talk ye ne ye ka ho asem they are willing to come Once it fits into their timetable, they are willing to come. Into your point, and sorry, circuits, any various dioceses, you can get closer to me, and then I can link you up to them so they can help our young people. Bernard, are the young people unemployable? Do they have the leadership skills that makes them strategically positioned? If not, why? And if yes, why?
Right.
But
it's a whole.
Yes.
I'm just looking at how many percentage are you giving me?
Sure.
Right. Number one, I like to state, yes, the youth of nowadays are employable. They really are. And going around the country, the men who kind of energy, willingness to, do something for themselves, right? But unfortunately, it's like there were a lot of struggles. Your friend be pseudo readiness. You feel they are ready, and you will be grossly and greatly disappointed, right? You see a kind of zeal without knowledge, posing with kind of flamboyant classes, and yet are not able to show their exhibits or whatever it is, right? And most my Reverend, she's hit the hammer right on the nail. Great to have a university certification, very great, and that's what a lot of us have gotten, or a blessing. We don't need to take it lightly, but unfortunately, how many of us are practicing it? Things like the soft skills that we're talking about. As about there is bringing down the Ghanaian ecosystem as far as our economy is concerned, which I'm very fearful of, is the attitude, disposition of the Ghanaian young person towards work.
I just say the subanya dinosaur or the word you know yafano. Name subanya dinosaur.
I mean, the sense of entitlement.
Okay.
So, issue what the average young person they've been able to, secure an employment, bring on the table, just opposing it with their take-home salary. You would even want to slash that amount and put back in the organization.
In other words, every employer is expecting you to bring something to the table.
Absolutely.
And I like the table. In the table, is see your name. Se you me so for ajika no ma for adwuma me fa wo say table ye nyina na edidi so.
Right.
Enti no odi bibi to so. Na me director so me di bibi na ye nyina ye di. But no dey won fa bibi anto. Eno say dey bia wo twen so we di bibi abeto na so wanya bi edi.
Exactly. Okay. Now issue, and the painful part is these people will sit down and at the end of the month they will be billing the employers. Give us money. Give us money. And so say ye import the UK system of remuneration. Na yes bagana ha. I'm not sure there at the end of the month people will even want to go take money.
Okay.
From what? Because you need to justify why or there we need to pay
you such an amount.
But there's not that in Ghana. So long as the person thinks he's had a contract, he's had an engagement, he's looking for something at the end of the month. What did he say? So I have spent my time, I have used money as transportation and all of that. Not quite. And Damsubay, it has transitioned through our generation, even spanning from our homes, where we wake up, and so we want to eat. How is it working? Because employer now so wa set up the establishment or the sikan ozaye. And he is expecting and looking for something at the end of the month. And I walk into an institution, just as Reverend rightly said. The way the readiness, the smiling, all those things that will make people come to the company again, it's not going to happen.
It means the employer is not a Father Christmas.
No.
And so Rev, what is the employer expecting on the table? And what is the expectation of the employee? Because you say second no fenu. Money e come here no chumo me ta oni nke no kwaba. Ni working for table no. Me na ta oni nke ba. Ni money awole no chumo me. Me ni sa na e for table no.
Nti say your bohwe ne dem a wo free BB contract or appointment letter. That will spell out your deliverables. Wa fa medwuma mi e ba di na nyimpa wa fa medwuma mi or hwe da meye. Nti wa list dem nzaman. Bunda wata wa list last one bakade any other.
Any other.
Obi wo wa badwin baby or any other na ase. Obi so wo wa onye bibi abakada o wakada menya dam na dam nti we wie. Na se hwema ni na fi entretre na entete a wode ma nyimpa. Nti obi wo wa sebe wanya fortunate we nya dam entete. Enso wa kwa environment bi na so bre ne ho asa obenya obi na wa guiding. Obi so wo wa nanya ato too much. Nanya ati na wa ato na onyim da ore no ho. Nti se wa ma contractor obi mfo bi adwuma ma onkyere ne sentro kra mefaw. No obi so nti obi kaw. Nti na was there's no free lunch. Ama yam besiamba ne so obi ticha wada. Se on sheda do chawade kwa oyo bibia ne wadado. Bibia or hwehwe. Nti na is battering you.
That's right.
Battering you or pamper wa manensa aka. Nti so obi ma contract bi no otua wo kawa. Your reasonable duty is to play according to the contractual terms. That is reasonable duty. But one when you sat one, bonde free ma ponche machi. Because boko akapim.
Yeah.
Boko akapim na se trenye de. Ma wodi sha won sa de yen wan kase ntumi ye. Obi su kra portia wo nada. Inyimododo in lechon. Shortcuts. None na yer can habit formation. Oya dibia nkrofo ya wadza abobra nansen national service fo wo sika nso because sika na wadze ma hon wadze to phone credit na dem nanum na we buen o sha wo school nti sika no din o chan obi ne salary kra nti sa din bet na national service wa we call it ticking boxes or to what or tick box bedwuma na kuma nyim o wo bebi opedo kwa na mo opedo ye. Yeshe the cultural undertones to some of these behaviors.
So Awal Mohammed is the head of public relations for the Youth Employment Agency. Our brother Awal, you are welcome to Sorena Shrine. Good to have you again.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Is it a Twi program or an English program?
In fact,
Okay.
It's a cosmopolitan program. You can speak Hausa,
Okay.
you can speak Twi, you can speak Ewe, but more English won't spoil anything. You are welcome again, my brother.
Thank you so much. The reason I ask is that because I heard someone speak Twi.
Yes.
I was thinking that because you heard the name Awal Mohammed, you may think I do not speak Twi. That's maybe the reason
all
you.
Right. Awal.
Okay.
So you can mix them up because we
No
want
problem.
both young people and parents to follow the discussion.
Yes.
There is a brouhaha on youth unemployment, and we are all discussing. We want to know the position of government in addressing this. Awal.
Thank you so much for the opportunity,
Okay.
my brother. Good morning to your cherished viewers and listeners. And I must say that the government is taking the fight by the bull to make sure that at least Ghanaian youth. And looking at
Awal,
the number.
Can you please position yourself well? It appears your line is cutting.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Is it clearer now?
It's clear now. Please go ahead.
Yes. So I'm saying that youth unemployment is a canker that bedevils every Ghanaian, every youth across the world. The most important thing is that what is government doing to make sure that at least it comes down? Solving youth unemployment is next to impossible anywhere in the world, just because every day people come out of the of schools looking for jobs and so on. Just recently, national health insurance, the those who came to do their national service, right, are coming out and some are entering. So those coming out of national service are coming looking for employment opportunities. So it's really very important for us to situate it in a good context. However, this government has been doing a lot in terms of giving the youth employment opportunities. When you narrow it down to my sector, that is the Youth Employment Agency, over the past 1 year, we've given not less than 130,000 people employment opportunities. And we still continue with our work to make sure that a lot of the youth get employment opportunities. One thing that we are doing right now is that we want to really shift from giving short-term employment to really employment opportunities that are sustainable. And that's the reason we have entered into the skills training and development. As I speak, we have a model that is running, we have an application process that is running, that we're employing 20,000 Ghanaian youth to be trained in 2,000 trade in 10 trade areas. That is, one is that they will be trained in carpentry, mason, glazing work, and so on. So these are the things that we're doing to make sure that at least they get sustainable employment. The second
Mr.
one,
Wal, Mr.
yes.
Wal, let me cut in a bit and bring this perspective. It appears that some of these government interventions and programs which are embedded in the various cliches have been accused that they have not yielded the necessary results. And so it only appears on paper, they are just jargons and cliches. What will be your response to this?
So when you move to the streets today, if you drive in Accra, you see some youth, some are wearing black, and there is a reflector written YEA at the back of the reflector. These are 15,000 of them across the country. So it's not a cliche. You can find them in the traffic, directing traffic. These are young people who were unemployed and were engaged by the Youth Employment Agency. If you go to every prison in this country, you will find 1,500 youth that have been given employment
Are they not
opportunities.
from the MPP? Are they not full soldiers from the ruling party?
So we're talking about employment for Ghanaian youth. Whether the Ghanaian youth you're talking about is MPP or NDC, that is immaterial. The most important thing is that the person is a Ghanaian and the Ghanaian needs employment. Unemployment doesn't know NDC and MPP. Unemployment is really a canker that is really bedeviling us as a country. Sorry. You understand? So if I hear people say that those that you have appointed are people who are affiliated to the MPP, granted we're able to employ all people affiliated to the MPP, and they are no more there, definitely we may get someone to also get the employment opportunity. So it's not really entirely correct that we do this. Again, when you check those I have pointed out, you go there, you ask them their political affiliation. Some will tell you they are not even MPP. For instance, today, in my family, I have people who are NDC. If you know my history, I was even NDC before I joined MPP. So I still have people who are still NDC. So if there is a youth within my family who needs employment, it's an NDC person, and is now one of the beneficiaries of these things. Is it not? Has that changed his political affiliation? No, it has not changed him being a Ghanaian. The most important thing is that we're looking to give employment opportunities to the Ghanaian youth, and not really any other political party.
Well, there still continues to be looming calls for employment. People are still crying. Does it appear that you do not have enough places for these people to come in?
I have mentioned that there is no time anywhere in the world that one will say that employment abounds and everyone will get employment opportunities. Go to the US and check the statistics. About 3% of unemployed people in US In the UK, the same. There are percentages and so on. The only thing is that you can bring it to the barest minimum. That's the reason we said let's shift from giving temporary employment to sustainable employment. As I speak right now, when the president launched the Planting for Food and Jobs Part 2 in Tamale, the Youth Employment Agency took advantage of it, and he came to launch the youth in agric at the University of Ghana. At the moment, as we speak, we have started the clearing of land, 1,000 acres in Branham, in Winchi. We have started clearing the land, 1,000 acres in Yeji. And there are 2 places in Kumau and in Sutakwamai Beposo. These are places that we're sending the youth who are ready to work in the farm. We are sending them and giving them 10 acres for 2 people. So each youth is given 5-acre land. The Youth Employment Agency will help him till the land, plant, do everything, give him stipends at the end of the month for the entire period of the planting period and harvest. After the harvest, the Youth Employment Agency will take 20% of the proceeds from the harvest. Then later, the farm will be handed over to him to be able to continue, because now he has the money to be able to really restart the farm again.
Yeah,
so
Mr.
this
Awal,
is an opportunity that we're giving the youth, that they can take advantage of it, because we know agric employs a lot of the people within the private
very
sector.
much well, Mr. Awal. Maybe 2 more questions and we can say goodbye to you so you can continue your work. You just mentioned people who are ready to work, and all of us in the studios nodded our heads. Is it a case that young people are not ready to work in certain sectors and are looking for white-collar jobs? And if
that is certainly the case, you and I know, and all the panelists will agree with me, that you and I have given opportunities, because you work in the public eye. I know that you have given opportunities to people and they will tell you, oh, this one there is beneath me. I remember a girl completed senior high school. She said she's been home, she wanted some work to do. Then I spoke to a friend who manages a Binchi market in Kumasi. And I told him, give her something to do. He said, okay, there is a ticketing kiosk that she can come and be selling tickets and so on. When I called her and told her that come for a job, you go in the morning and sell tickets, you have 1 day off and so on, and your salary I mentioned. She said, me Mako school.
yes, secondary school, no?
Secondary school, she told me, Mako school, I mean, ticket. Your friend driver for. They have been Mako school. So our perception, look at the lady who was the best youth farmer in this country. Yeah. She completed University of Ghana. When she completed University of Ghana, she was sent to Kwabi Brim in the eastern region to do her national service. Okay. While she was there, she saw that the place is full of palm oil trees and so on. So she said, then she asked questions and so on. Then somebody told her that, oh, you can start with 1 or 2 acres. It's not very expensive. She used that small stipend that she was getting from national service. She called the mother, and the mother helped her. She read public administration at the University of Ghana. But she went ahead to plant. After planting, they told her you can even add maize and so on. She did this and so on. Today, she has 100 staff, according to her. Wow. 100 people that she has employed, not in the farm, in the agric channel. This is someone, there is no white collar job that can pay her, because she has people, and she told us in that meeting, in the lunch of the youth and agri, she told the youth that at least she has workers that she pays as much as 3,000 cedis a month. Ghana Statistical Service came with the statistics that 70% of people within the public service take less than 3,000 cedis a month. But this is someone who completed university about 4 years ago, just 4 years ago, entered into agric, and she's able to employ people to the extent that she has a staff that she pays 3,000 cedis a month. So let's take advantage of all these things. The youth, if you're only ready to work, we have job center that we are connecting people with private sector employment. I remember I called someone and I asked her. She completed University of Education, Winneba. She read education. Then I told her that a school in Kumasi is recruiting people to teach social studies. And I know you read social studies, so I will want you to take advantage of it. So, school. As I speak right now, she's still unemployed. She did not take advantage of that to even gain experience. So that's the reason I said the youth who are ready and willing to work, the government is giving the enabling environment for them to be able to succeed.
My brother, thank you so much. I think you have enlightened us again. It's always very good having you at the other side of the phone. Please.
Thank you so much for the
We will
opportunity.
call on you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bernard, you have written a book on career path, and I think the whole idea of career path was actually the parameter within which Awal was coming from.
Right.
So I went to school to read psychology, I read business, and I read medicine. There is no work for me. But the government has put us some jobs that will include me going to the farm to use the cutlass or another implement which was not taught in school. What will you say about career path? What will you say? Viewers, our brother Bernard has written a book which I had the privilege of launching together with Reverend Career Path. And I've read this over and over and has even recommended it to both my first degree students and my second degree students. It's always good to know where you are going, but if you don't start well, or if you don't start at all, you can't even take the first step. And I think that is where Bernard took his argument from. Bernard, can you say something a little about career path?
All right, thank you so much, Honorable. Awal, he's also made his point, and I agree with him partially. First of all, the government is really doing well. The first point that I feel they must be commended and supported is the institution and implementation of the free senior high school. Because the first point of, getting everybody to be self-dependent or independent is education, which is great. But we need to situate that drive within our context of what we need. What has made the Indian economy now $3.3 billion and even $1 trillion and even more, and has become the third world best economy, has to do with their investment in what we call the technical and vocational education. And so certain things that are need areas must be looked into. We're talking, if you come to Ghana, one of the greatest sponsoring that can make our economics much robust is agricultural works, agricultural investment and all of that. But Rev, let's get back to our curricula. Let's get back to classrooms. How many students are being enrolled or are interested in going for agricultural studies? Just check the statistics. Aside that, how many resources and technical investment have we put into encouraging people to enter into agriculture? If you look at our senior high schools, vast land that could be invested in to be used as a means of feeding even the canteens and all of that. So instead of we importing so many especially these cereals, we could invest in it. The government should be intentional to investing in that, such that every student that goes to senior high school must be given a bed. We call it like a farmland. That as they are sitting in class, they can also go to the farmland to inspect their farm bed. They are growing tomatoes, they are growing whatever, so they can appreciate what they are eating in the dining hall. Right. Now, coming back to this issue of career path, the point is we need to, people would want to give their maximum best when they are doing something that they love. But when that part of passion, that kind of interest, and that kind of excitement is dimmed, they may as well go into it, but they might do the thing shabbily. The result we want will be short-circuited.
But the university system places them in the courses of their
choice
of the computer.
And it's because of it's because of scanty of choices. Honestly, we find so many people that they sign up for certain courses, they don't get it, and they give them their second choice. Second choices, third choice doesn't mean that is what I really want to do, right? So it's a big challenge. YEA is doing well, government is doing well, but please, let's put all of these things into our need area as a country. Agric is there. I'm really excited about how technical and vocational education has been lifted up.
Yeah.
I mean, we all can see what the government is doing. It's commendable. So we should also now start from the senior high, place, even junior high, and let them appreciate the value, because you will definitely have work to do. Recently, through one of the Indian community, which happens to my boss, I wanted to bring in, we launched a little initiative where we brought certain kind of technocrats in technical vocational education. We wanted to sign up with the various schools, in fact, the colleges, such that if someone is reading, let's say, science or economics, he or she can pick up another course in technical vocational education. So it could be electricals, it could be mobile applications, it could be masonry, it could be this. Such that when you are done with school and you are not getting that employment in the mainstream,
you can
anye bia obi apply as ebe say, obe fro, oba beye, obi nyesika, obi ka ebe break it down, obi timi aboa. These are things that I feel say if we open up, and there were a lot of bureaucracies that made the program not.
Let me activate the phone line so that our viewers can bring in their questions. 025-625-3461. 025-625-3461. Ashafo ye be en telephone. Work bele phone agbene. You walk out to no be question. Why ye be? Why ye be? You be bua question I say. Mama Director, so how can our institutions help to make our young people employable? I think there's nothing we can do about the structure of our education now unless policy changes it. But whilst we are still in school, SS4 results how can the institutions make these students employable even before they get to level 300 or 400?
Yo, medasi pi. Oya na ayede mpanyimfo yɛrehwɛ adze so yɛnhwɛ nkɔ kan. Nti sampada na your board and you are providing strategic direction. Ayede eja bia otifie. Ohwe na busua no mu. Ohwe me wiase no rekɔ na wetu ne bafo maba. Wiase no morokɔyi. Yenya na
So obi a wo so ya homa no. Ebenezer aka wo frefi enchi.
Omanpe.
Omanpe en
Oman mope.
Oman.
Yeah, Oman penchi.
Me bra mete wonka. Ko question ben na obi say.
Me wo asem kakra kan.
Yo.
In fact, I agree issue na moka no. Ye na him say sensitive e wo ye memwa. We can say the backbone of the country. Now so the course agric nankasa no it's not the subject in the basic level no. Ye free work. Ye nchire nti akwa no sha say ba na onya anything any idea about agric na obi wie secondary school and sana wakwakoye no tertiary no. Onya interest bia wo.
It's flawed.
Onya interest bia wo. Nti me nankasa no I don't understand. I'm a teacher myself, but I don't understand why this sensitive subject and courses not free your curriculum. It doesn't speak well of us. I think said the government must do something about it. So most of the curriculum now they should ignore some of these LGBTQ 10 no and free work. No more fast agric. It should be agric and technical purely.
It's very true.
Now I want to
Yo. For you've made your point and we are very happy about it. 025-625-3461. Mama Director now okay.
Nti mamerkan den na there's something you call versatility. besiaba
ho mfaso bebree
etumi yenzema pii ento pa no nko etumi yadokon etumi kambar etumi sufufu ebo hyenhyen nzema pii ama wankasa wo ho nkyerɛw dam so na nyimpa desenya anyame bohen wo fra bibi adaptability or de tum adapt what's the dinosaurs na dzina wako extinction and they could not adapt but nyimpa desenya anyame bonen you can adapt your ability to adapt gives you survival
Absolutely.
na se yehwe sisi awiase no morokwa honorable kasete nya Ghana pena unemployment wo okwa brocha nkrofo da agba no awonum homeless people wo ho enti obaneden ihwe bebia wiase no kɔ bunyanko na abadwesare hwo asa nso esi wozum enti wiase no kɔ nden sisi awo friend VUCA COVID world VUCA it is highly volatile uncertain complex and ambiguous enti nzama na nka no woyen nansen ya etwem you cannot survive. So in this VUCA COVID world, in the business environment, where the macro caller
Ishal from Tamale.
Hello?
Ishal from Tamale. We can hear you.
Pacho, Metiamo.
Aye, Joe Sopa.
Yes, sir. I like me contribute kakra. Program no.
Koso.
What was government also about more than the youth employment NAPCO. NAPCO no the buy no. We employ nipa over so many. It's so many no. It's your fans in government cleaning and anka we move a free house. Not what I employ we move through no employ at least 3 years out a new institution to need idea wo institution si say what I ja omu nyina samba back si say unemployment ewo nti nka sa to book at least nti for year na for this can create your ayina youth employment as youth ayina na for na nti kenyi nti o ma close and sa to book si hon enye so my dear, and I'm not saying you from as I end up for me. If I the government, which now you state farm. After
My volume in go from kakra my. Isha, my volume in go from my.
At least. Okay. Yo, okay. Let me that.
Twaso.
And my noise, yo, never.
Where we? Okay. Osina no esi. I think that he's made this point. Rev, you were on the floor when Ishal came in.
enti mana American dena ehwe bebia wiase no kɔ na wo so ahwe mosi ebototo wonzama
Yeah.
memfa nde na obi a wawo ne ba onyimde mebebesi ochine bi mepede obowar obenya awar pa asetena pa obeya yer pa obosumukun enti edandan mosu wonyi benyin kasa ebi mo nsua wo fie ba wo sua wo school enti se ye wo school na se ye wo moframa enya yete gomiye hwade we chi ne botum akade wiase no morkwan onne na hyese wa ye mande ahyese aye moti wo hwe bebia businesses no rkọ wiase no morkọ yembe yi wo fi school a workọ edwuma bim
Victor Abafon is
Victor
Enimpon new Ebrim. Victor.
Hello, sir.
O ka se fi new Ebrim.
But
Yo yetio.
yeah, let me present me busa say madam ka say yeah, announcement say obi person madam mo be sia omo a say assessment be na sorry e be sia omo
You
let me busa say
and then
asori nye mo asori ni be nye matter this asori
asori
bia now from mo wa church ya
asori bia enti o nya Methodist ni wa ho. Okay, so
you follow program no 50 time almost started.
Oh, yeah, I say. Fantastic. Enti SDA ni a wo hwe WTV Methodist for television. Papa. Ye nyina ye nipa ba akokoso anehwe. Enti from me producer no or the number no be ma we chire ho na ye di sa nkomo no wa ye da ase. Okay. We are still expecting your calls, dear friends. Call and ask questions, especially the young people. When you want to question me, actually, what you know, we bisa. Mama mpacho we will point ne.
Enti point ni den na enya yete go ma ye hwe mosi wiase no ko. Ye hwe dynamics na or de yetum ye extracurricular program or training. Enti entrepreneurship. In the nurses for entrepreneurship. Nti entrepreneurship ama afrenu pay na so nye adwuma ebi oya government school no kwai wa sign contract that wo bema na appointment mbe nkrofo tifie e ba di bio no botum wa ye ama ne ho nka kyeren nti employable skills ye tra wana otumi ye bibi di twen ai da din so egu enumere twen ope nti hwade ne din de amebe mamenya nda mame onno na ahyese wa ya nde ahyese wa ya mote what's your business skills what set up business hub what's your employable skills no what should that wo groom ho aye da me Esther yenyim wo bible mi obi no hye that ne tena ho no kyerɛ no most wo play cards bi no osi ni ye to de yesu na ye
Hey, Osofo, can no the Bible no makuabo. Once a minister, always a minister. Francis, so frefi man kesim.
Yeah. Who?
Francis.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, talk kapa.
No program, no me interested in program no more.
And that's it.
But yeah, not mostly no, yeah, not basically on education. No, yeah, me I can say school. But I mean, no, me a master. Me can say a teacher. Me in college, man.
Okay. Where you money a day, Juma?
A aluminium fabricator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Until who apprentices or more shall I say?
Yeah, my apprentice like 28.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a chum be my pom more could be on my shop.
Okay.
That's a country na no. Yeah, na you can say youth employment. Yeah, na you could education, a school kwa. But yeah, I can't practical and also very much important for your nation. Since I know share Ghana without practical, no, I never be in shut down papa. Inti measure government no. Yeah, na mete say certificate then the government will come and help you. But mesra wo for no so. Say yeah in Kolano, if you know your child can't further the education, just drop your child and then look for another foundation for you. And then now we can maker. Say yeah mostly no. You share Kolane Dachia. Why we show Obana on it now share the Dachia. It's better for you to look for another foundation for your child than self-piano so uncle school by force. Or be school could be now my men 100 to pushing on tertiary. One. A backward tertiary, or you tertiary, some people are already in the house. And then free education is the home. Or free no, or move pilot. And then we are giving the blame to the government only. Which and can also pass you through with a practical. At least you can also build up a good foundation for your own self and then for your family. And to moment I don't quit you must so kakra and we are in Kualano and as a youth,
Okay.
because the agent call no so a baby one and the boy aside the certificates now.
Yeah, that's it. Mama, I'm said they all kind of so young. I'm saying in a year because school now and the adjunct woman. So apprentice for all more kosher master ne madam for as a 3 year okay aluminium fabrication breach your mason your they are very important in building a future career. Crazy call one.
Lots of money.
Skapa. Enti but near body rule say enye school nkran results ya be wo hwe obi wenya F maku 8. Enti F maku you so nko ye remedial.
Oh yeah,
F maku 8 so nko ye remedial. 3 years no we hu so. 3 years no we hu so. Obi apose ahoma na afia ho. Hafo ano Esther you both in your Bible Moses here.
Anopede boko. O me the program no wɔyɛ no ma no wahyɛ asa nka wɔda wɔhyɛ ase dedaada yes the blame no ba mo hon nti
Yo, yaje blame no. Yes, yaje blame.
papa me kai de ye wo school yen na abredu no wutwa life skills sisi am kyerɛ life skills no ɔboa mo ma ndɛ mu school fo wɔn ntala atetew na ade mutum pam ndɛ mbɔfra ma wɔnyim bate mu mposi because we the minyaman was efi but ɔboa yɛn nyɛ ndɛm abrɛ man dem the machine is wompo mutum meya alteration mbɔfra ma wɔnyam no we bisam dem kosua adepa ma na mso nsua adepa munsia adepa nti the minyaman nyinaa yɛ fam a ɔboa yɛn ndɛ akwa China wɔn krom kasa na wɔka nso ndɛ yɛ de brɔfo sam akata nyama do ama yɛntumi nyɛ dɛ yɛn kasa wɔ dɛ adua yɛn mu China for wɔn krom kasa na wɔka so wɔtumi de wɔn nsa no yɛ nyama bebree na ɛhɛn yɛ akɔ oh Ghana nso yɛn keechi yɛnyim dɛ ɛhɛn na yɛ ahyɛ ase no yɛwɔ ndwuma pa bi wɔ yɛn mu a sɛ afa bɛɛdze na kasa kyerɛ na ade no onyim ha wɔ obutum wɔayɛ ne yie ba brɔfo no nkɔ ɔbɛka do osuro because ontum nka brɔfo nti no ɛyɛ wɔn boa yɛn kakra mo si ɔbɛyɛ a yɛn so wɔn a wɔaka no yɛbɛtum yɛsɔ wɔn ase nda girl child bebree wɔntum nyɛ nyɔma bebree nso first no mo wɔatwitwa mu no yɛ papa nti nda wɔn fa nka mo wɔyɛ efim no ɛyɛ ɔdɔɔso mo mbafra man wɔn ma practical side no mbra afɔpɛ so yɛ books bebree na ɔda n'akyi ɔntum mpo nkan ɔkɔfie mpo ɔntum nkan ba practical na akyerɛ no ano na ɔkɔfie mu na oriza agora na ɔreyɛ ogbo wie no na waayɛ nkonyimdefo nti wɔn bo ahɛ na yɛn so yɛn bo mbɔfra ama no yɛda wɔn ase paa
yɛbɛyɛ no dɛm na sɔfo brɔfo na dɔɔso sɛdeɛ wɔkɛn brɔfo na dɔɔso akoa bi a ɔsɛ okɔgya obi wɔ airport terminal 3 ɔbaa a ɔde ɛnɛ na mbisa na wo country bɛ na ɔsɛ okɔgya obi wɔ airport kura ni na wokɔ America ba deɛ ɔbɛba ne yɛdwane because brɔfo ka yɛnte ɔntete mu kura na yɛate bi I think say yema me na obi aka practical director for no mo hwe enipa no practical or ye enya ni certificate nko a practical or ye ya mo hwe
yo nti obefi environment kor wo frɛ BB industry to academia gap
okay
nti Institute of Directors me ya yen de yen UPSC yen wen kita hozibi to appreciate that gap. Woko school na brofuni pi da mama mi ke brofuni pi we sua din books akesi we sua but still aka gap. Okay. Translating that theory into practice. If you sua kase aka the cultural bit
Collins so frefi sunyane.
Yes please.
Collins so frefi sunyete onkampa.
Oh okay me da was the program no. And then the year first time me tea. Na one can send be my pardon me who agree me akwa say my shock kakra no me ni so age. Okay. The thing is really say one say na your mommy can send be any the other host or we know guest no efa ye graduates no so ankasa ye ready. It's very true. Me we university 2019. But now ye course to be your class. Through that course, na me di hu how I see organic fertilizer. And me start here. Na your colleagues na ankasa ye no mu school ho ankasa esre me. But nenu product number outer my government no gi me colleagues na me no more class no my employee bi no.
Wow.
Organic fertilizer. Organic fertilizer. Yes, you be willing into farming. Almost so that we graduate I farming. This year, ye kasa this year usunyani. You had my 15 acres of maize. They say me 450 bars of maize go. And to me can say program here very good. But your graduates no year ready. Obia pe white collar job. Last year, me konya 2 times to go for it because me ready to go to travel because. Near me yen will have no mommy very good things bro. And the message say my program here very good. Yeah, encourage the youth no more. Na me nim say no yeah. Course as say ye ko introduce and as a lectures no more try there as so man kola no so adwene e baswa because frankly speaking me ko university ye professor ba ko nyame fa ni crazy o film ntimeti ma boni di professor no Professor no obisa me class say o wi a obey aban adwuma ben. And I'm so I don't think say me we are aban bit mo tua me ka. E ka kitu bi anka professor no ya bo mani so. Say adan no gi government salary. Na me mesi aban ntimi ntua me ka. And I'm saying na me pese me ye no. Aban ntimi ntua ntimi ayi sem for so ye me anka zamade. Enti enu no na e maye bebre no e hye ye nkran. Enti mesre say program is very good by mo yen san kan kire youth no more say unya certificate no via it's not necessarily so better no fear no better no man so yeah I say okoyi bibi and last
oh yeah let me say I heard no fireman oteminka hello fireman o kasa fi zongo junction fireman o kasa fi zongo junction o yoja o kasa fi zongo lane wo okay yetio
1.5
yetio fire
hello
yetio kasa lower volume no lower volume no yapacho hello lower volume no fire
yeah right in you
yeah dishi
make a tapri zongo lane yeah program na mo ya no a very nice program na mo ya no but the problem I have in say we said Ghana we don't believe in the practicality we believe in the theory yeah I said Ghana na e wono
fireman who tie wo ho lower volume no ne kasa gu phone ni mu who make it point pa lower volume no lower volume no ne kasa yetie o na oye last caller yetie o
ne wo ni say Ghana no we don't believe in the practicality we believe in the theory obi one man obetumi edinisa edi aye bibi ko obetumi yisuna din di aye bibi but those people challenge them bibia which is very bad.
Fireman jina ye fire na doso enti wa homa no twetwesi jina ye na point ni e good pa fire okay fire ye da say I think said the practicality na can hu hia pa na ye bre no enya ye bre kakra na e be me say we need another edition on the same unemployment thing na ye nremu yi said the tiefo ne ne ahwefo no frɛ no tim so mani age ho pan each one of them is commending my guest for the messages and the information they have put across medam ase na ne kra no meje manu di semu etwato reverend edien na obeka kire emabu no a epedwuma
yo mama kan de bebia obia ne nyiso adze hu no wo anopedo kodun obi akohoda Inti the role of mentors in your mentor and obipo identify you as a mentee quickly seize the opportunity because mono brayen ibenya ni easy and they will guide and shape you ma obeye ode na oye zin mankotuma yen se ye cheche adwenya ye botum ye aye ma waye ye na enyidado wo ho wachia ombi inti yenye nyidado ambwa wo ho
yeah that's it Bernard ne kra what will you tell other younger people like you
right so Rome was not built in one day start from where you are use what you have focus on the haves and neglect the do not haves or however you want to say it and also may I encourage you almost say we should look out for volunteering opportunities and also for internship opportunities so that you can gain the experience, the exposure, and build your network. Don't just stay at one place praying and fasting, great, but take the next step and make a meat out of it. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, bra. Yeah, ba. Bernard, you're so for ba. Also for come wherever you are. Greetings, the world. Bernard is the country director for Equip, and he has been with us. Bernard has written a very good book. Bernard, the book ni epebi a infa ni ebenye biato.
Okay. I think numbers. Friend number na ebenye bi and online also be ho call Amazon, we call Google Books ni ade ani nyina so you can order it online. But Ghana had I mean, bema wo ahoma bi a wait me afre wo so na bibia wo bia na deliver to you.
Inti mo frɛ producer we chiro ha number na enda yi na so ayede sa direction team na ebemo. Afi ye maami Reverend Mrs. Angela come and appear or your president of Institute of Directors. Director fo nyina e Ghana nyina on e do ma no. Mommy, thanks for coming. It's been a wonderful time. Ashefo, ye de asem kesi ABC ha. Ye nko ye akoka agro wa so there eja. Please stick and stay.